Well, we have programs in place that are supposed to, they extend unemployment insurance and they extend access to retraining under our trade laws. I'm not a big fan of them. They haven't worked very well for starters. And secondly, the big problem is that it is one of the, why not extend that social safety net to people that lose their jobs for whatever reason? Why single out trade? It just helps to smear the name of trade. So they exist. I think they exist because politicians say, okay, we've dealt with it, and we feel good about it. A better program would be one that eliminates all frictions so that somebody who loses his job is more likely to find another job, because if there are regulations in place that are restricting inflows of capital or deterring companies from setting up businesses in locations where there has been job loss, then it's going to be harder for that person to get a new job. Let's make it easier. And it doesn't really need to be the government so much. I mean, I've had talks with people from the National Association of Manufacturers, and they've complained about trade in the past, but now they don't. I mean, now they say their biggest problem is lack of high-skilled workers in the United States. Well, it's the manufacturers and the service providers, I think, who know best what the jobs of 5 years from now are going to look like. Certainly better than a bureaucrat in Washington. So they need to be empowered. Maybe they can be incentivized somehow through tax policy to maybe pay people to train them. We'll pay you. You're with us. You're our indentured servant for 5 years. You learn this and you owe us this, and the government can incentivize it by giving them tax breaks. Well, Jagdish Bhagwati is on our board of advisors, and he is an outspoken critic of the spaghetti bowl caused by bilaterals. I've been at Cato for 9 years, and at first I said, trade liberalization, however you can get it, is fine. I am really a champion of unilateral liberalization. I don't like having a whole bunch of different kinds of rules, but I don't think bilateral agreements are necessarily trade diverting, and they could be. If you have the right mix, then that might not be trade diverting. But Bhagwati is right in the sense that if you have, I think there are 350 preferential trade agreements notified to the WTO. That just raises costs for business to keep tabs on what they have to do to satisfy regulations in certain countries. I think the U.S. got a bad rap. One of the reasons I'm worried about bilateral trade is because the U.S. is perceived as a bully. All right, they're perceived as a bully with respect to the ties during those negotiations. I was in Thailand, and I felt almost ashamed about the requirements that the pharmaceutical industry was pushing. We were perceived as a bully with respect to CAFTA, the Central American countries, and I think that energized some of the anti-trade groups. So for tactical purposes, I think bilaterals have problems. So I'll stop there to keep it brief.
Dan, thank you very much. Just a couple of quick things to say. If you like what you've heard from Dan, please go to freedomtotrade.org to sign up to IPAN's petition for free trade, which the Adam Smith Institute is a supporter of. The other thing I want to say is that I think anyone who defends trade so eloquently and robustly as Dan deserves a medal. And so here is one with Adam Smith on it.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.